Hello everybody and welcome back for another episode of Indie Impressions. My name is Nick and today we're going to be checking out a game called Zerocross by developer Christopher Emirzian with art by SEIZURE and music by Tim McFarlane. This is a top-down bullet hell style sci-fi shoot 'em up with sort of an arena style combat situation to it. And it feels like it was pulled straight out of the late 80s, early 90s, like it was some sort of DOS game or something, because the art aesthetic is so consistent, as well as the MIDI music, which is really, really well done. The whole package of this one, honestly, I think scratches a bit of an itch that I think a lot of people out there have, and maybe there aren't a lot of options for. So I was pretty pleasantly surprised as I played this. I actually had a hard time pulling away to want to actually record the video for it, because I was having a great time just shooting everything. I will warn you off the top, though, there will be some flashing lights and flickeriness, so if you have any issues with photosensitivity or epilepsy, you might not want to watch this one. It's not particularly terrible. We're not doing, like, full screen flashes or anything, but there's, you know, as is with a lot of bullet hell games, we've got screen-filling, you know, dots that are going to go in all kinds of weird patterns. I should mention, too, that although it is one of those style games that tend to have the propensity to be extremely hard, this one actually has a really nice scaling to the difficulty where we can choose to play from a beginner mode that's almost too easy, probably even too easy, and quite slow, actually, to get going, to modes that will probably kill you instantly. So I sort of found a happy medium at, like, the second or third one up. But I'll try and show you a little smattering of what we've got going on. So anyway, let's start from the top. We've got a config button here. I actually wanted to see what that does. Alright, so we've got sound effects on-off, music on-off, detail on-off. Smoothing I have set to off just because, hey, we're going for that gritty, you know, sprite art type deal, so we probably want to keep the smoothing away. In-game messages can be on because they're actually pretty useful in this, and widescreen, full screen I have set to on, but I'm not playing it in widescreen, so it doesn't actually matter. I'm actually recording this in windowed mode, which is kind of recommended, probably, if you're going to be messing around with it. The full screen didn't seem to sit properly, and seemed to default to 800 by 600 and not really be able to get rid of the taskbar at the bottom, which kind of obscured some of the viewpoint of the game, which I thought was a little weird. We've also got these little toggle icons down in the bottom right corner here. We've got a toggle sound music, retry level, quit level, toggle detail, toggle smoothing, instructions, and full screen. So basically all the things you might ever need there. You can also use the just the mouse here, or you can use the keyboard, whatever feels better. So there's a lot of distinctions that we could make as we go to describing all of the things that are going to happen in this game. It's surprisingly deep and complex and actually very fully realized. And honestly, I was amazed that this game is free. It feels like something I feel like I should have paid at least $5 or $10 for, because it's got so much going on with it. In fact, there's a bullet list here on the website. It says 40 levels of shooting action, 16 unique game elements, 5 different level goals, 35 enemy types, 5 bosses, arcade course with special boss, 13 original music tracks, and it's also available for Mac or PC. That's a pretty serious bunch of features, actually, I would say. So anyway, you're probably wondering what's up with this. Basic means we cannot use hijack shot, which lets us basically steal enemy planes, or black hole, which is sort of another special move that we can do. Level goals are simplified, or you can use those things, and level goals are more complex. I feel like you're getting the proper game if you play with advanced, but if you find it too overwhelming, I guess you could step down to basic. Then we've got easy, normal, harder, harder. I'm going to go with normal for now, and there's all of those levels as well as the arcade course. I'm going to start us off at, like, level 10, I think, is probably a good point. Because the first few levels are just kind of like, these are walls, don't run into those, or, like, don't shoot those, and then, so it's basically really, really simple stuff. So, at level 10, we're starting to learn about hijacked bullets. They hit enemies, build black hole meter. Once black hole meter is full, you can generate a black hole around your ship, which lasts 3 seconds and turns enemy shots into bonus items. However, you can still run into enemies. So that's something to be aware of. I'm not sure I've really gotten very good at using the advanced stuff yet, but it's actually quite fun as it is. So when this level starts, I just want to make you aware there's going to be an objective. My objective is to target and defeat the enemy structures. The screen's going to look very cluttered, but you'll start to figure out pretty quickly what's going on here. So I will actually just start it up and you can see. So here's my ship. I'm going to start shooting at these enemy structures. They'll catch fire, and we're going to avoid all of the enemy ships, obviously, and all of their various shots that are coming off of them. And in true bullet hell fashion, the main thrust here is... Oh, okay, that was terrible. Oh, no, it wasn't terrible. I actually won. I thought I got hit there. What I was just about to say is that the main thrust is the center of the ship. There's a little flashing orb, and that's the only point that can actually take damage. So I've got 3 hits being on normal mode. And as long as I don't lose those, I'll still hopefully win, as long as I meet the conditions of whatever the win is for that particular level. Secret bonuses are hidden in most levels. If you shadow swap onto one, you'll uncover it and collect it. So you probably already noticed too, I've got a mirror image of my ship here, and if I shadow swap by pressing E, I can actually just teleport over to the other point, but you can only do that so often, so you can't really abuse it. I'm going to use my hijack there, so that's actually making that ship into one of mine for now. And of course, as you progress through this, there's a little bit of like a story element. Things are actually being unlocked as you go. There's more and more progressively difficult enemies, and these power-ups as well, I believe, are just giving us score. And protect the friendly structures, by the way, in case you're wondering. Look for anything with a green crosshair on it. Those are friendly structures. There's only the little gray kind of blobby things. We want to make sure those didn't get targeted by the enemies. Alright, so nice job. We did our work. Everything's fine. So this one, we have to seal the rifts in this level to win. To seal the rift, move over it with your ship. It will slowly be sealed as long as you're on it. Once sealed, it will stop moving. So it's sort of like a King of the Hill style thing. We just need to stand on top of this. And if I want to, once this is done, I could actually just kind of shadow swap over to the other one, but that would be a bit of a bad idea since I was right on top of an enemy. Did I mention already you can switch between two fire modes? There's a spread shot and a straight laser, or a, more of a straight shot plasma ball. And that's just using spacebar. All the controls are actually available right on the side of the screen there, so if you get a little lost, it shouldn't be too crazy confusing. But I'm loving the atmosphere and the style of this game. We haven't even gotten to the particularly chaotic stuff yet. This is actually pretty simple, and there's actually a timer that ticks down. My one complaint would just be that as I complete an objective, I always feel like I lost the stage, because the win animation actually just sort of looks like you died. Alright, so strong enemies have appeared. They can be hijacked, but only for 4 seconds. After that, they become immune. So we gotta make sure we know strong enemies are going to come back into play again, whereas the old ones would have actually just stayed hijacked indefinitely. So if I want to, I could actually hijack this right now. I don't need to, though, because it's actually already dead. So our goal for this level is simply survive. I don't think that's going to be too difficult for us. I think we got this kind of under control here. But I will probably at some point skip ahead to a harder difficulty level. Or, maybe we'll just stay the course on this one, because I think we're going to get to some big stuff soon. And I think we'll also show off, there's going to be some new types of enemies that'll show up too, and they're kind of interesting as well. Yeah, this is actually really easy stuff compared to what we'll get to later. And if you're familiar with any bullet hell games in general, you're used to having just really complex patterns that you have to weave in and out of. Alright, level 14. I think I remember this one being a cool one. Destroy enemy structures. I'll just start working away at those. Red reticles mean kill. There's actually only, I think, 4 of them, so I don't even need to necessarily concern myself with this enemy right here. I'm actually just going to target those and win. Didn't even get a chance to come at me. Alright, ready for the next level. Protect the friendly structures again. So we're alternating game objectives for each level. Nothing too crazy, though. I really like the levels that are just kind of like survive. I think that's sort of like the standard, what you would expect out of something like this. Especially since it's pretty forgiving. I mean, the hitboxes are generous enough, especially, with the bullet hole conventions, like I mentioned. You only have the one little point that you have to worry about, and you can get to feeling pretty awesome when you have a series of really skillful dodges. Is this it? These guys are really not putting up much of a fight yet. Maybe I should have actually picked a harder difficulty mode to show off these few earlier levels. But it does a really nice job of ramping you in, and I think it sort of positively reinforces the gameplay as you go. Starts to make you feel like you're actually becoming somewhat proficient, especially since they throw so many gameplay conventions at you right out of the gate. Dealing with switching your focus, having your hijack shot, having your shadow swap, getting a black hole meter, doing game objectives, watching your ship while also firing at things, moving your mouse around. It's kind of a lot to take in all at once. As well as, the fact that the UI is maybe a little bit tough to look at since it's all kind of low res. If you didn't already realize also, absolutely make sure that you play this in as big of a window as you can get away with. Took some damage there, unfortunately. I still have 2 hearts left, so hopefully that'll be the only damage I take for this level. But yeah, if you try to play this in too small a window, you're just not going to have the resolution necessary to see what you're actually doing. And that's going to end up being a real problem, I have a feeling. But I think you'll get the point pretty quickly when you realize you can't even read the text, because it comes out at like 640 by 480 resolution. This is a Flash game, by the way, I should mention, which could be a little bit of a put-off for some people. Flashes, at times can have moments of greatness, other times not so much. With the whole Binding of Isaac controversy, Binding of Isaac was made in Flash. And it had some moments of being not the greatest engine, but, you know, they use it to very good effect in this one, I would say. Killer enemies have appeared. These massive foes take a huge amount of damage and cancel all enemy bullets on screen when they die. Alright, fair enough. Let's fight a massive, crazy enemy. And my goal here is just to survive, so this is when we get into our actual proper bullet hell stuff. Just gonna try and watch what we're doing, keep the reticle... Oh, that was dumb. Alright, that was actually way easier than it should have been. I think there's not much else to this level. I think it's just like a couple little guys. Nothing that'll hit me again, I don't believe, unless I do something really dumb. It's a tough one with these types of games, because like they're really fun to play and they feel really good to play, but they're a little tough to commentate over because it's so hard to pay attention and keep talking. Oh, we've got another big guy over here. Okay, no problem. I could have actually hijacked the other enemy there and used him to help, but actually, you know, this one's not all that bad. There we go. Sorted it, and are we done? Yes, we are. Alright, next level. Vortex shot will shoot other shots. Avoid them at all costs. I'm pretty sure this is a sweet level to play. So first things first, our target here is we want to kill these enemy structures. This guy is quite difficult, and also provides quite a bit of fire, so what I really wanted to do was start hitting the enemy emplacements as soon as possible, because the character is actually going to end up going over top of what I need to shoot at. Thankfully, I was able to eliminate it before things got too crazy. But if you end up not being able to hit the enemy structures, you actually can't do a whole lot to finish the level objectives. That actually went a lot smoother than the last time I did. I wonder if I was on hard mode last time. I might have been, because that seemed way easier. Alright, let's get ready for level 19. Protect the friendly structures. What do you have for me? Alright, watch out. Those are walls, by the way, in the center, or pits, I guess you could call them. We want to make sure we don't run into those. They will impede movement. But they will let shots go over top of them, so... Alright, friendly structures mostly still good to go. Everybody's still happy. I see lots of green reticles. Everybody's good. Okay. Oh, that guy just ran straight into me. I think a lot of the challenge here is just differentiating what's good and what's bad. And I think that's going to take a little bit of training to actually get accustomed to that. I guess I have a little bit of a good propensity for some of that sometimes when it comes to the fact that I've played so many hours of games like Geometry Wars. You start to really get a feel for like trying to have your mind automatically separate the background from the foreground. And this actually makes it a little even harder considering there's a bunch of stuff in the foreground that's actually fine as well. Alright, that level worked just fine. What do we have? Seal some rifts. Alright, cool, we can do that. And let's do a shadow swap when this is... Oh, maybe not, actually. Okay, I thought I hit the button and I actually didn't there. No! Okay, I got cornered. You know what? Maybe we'll just reset this level. I'll just crush myself in those bullets. Alright, I gotta remember shadow swap is E, and I have to always remember to switch over to my straight shot, too. Because this is not gonna get me where I want to go. There we go. That's more like it. Oh, it took damage. I do actually have a couple of iframes there, so it's not like all is lost. Like you're going to spiral out of control immediately as soon as you get hit. This should be easy enough. Done. Sealed rifts. Okay, now we're getting into a new type of enemy. You see the background changes, something a bit more menacing, too. I love the style of this. The artist is so good. Gryzor, I need to look into this person's work. Organic enemies have appeared. Well, they don't have any stronger killer enemies in their ranks. They have more, they can more than make up with it their numbers. Okay, so let's get ready. Switch over to straight shot again. I think they're actually talking kind of big talk on this one. The sound effects actually are pretty good too. Everything is so thematically consistent between the visual presentation, the music, the sound effects. Even the UI actually does feel like it's very much in that same world. Maybe even going back to like Atari ST or something like this kind of has that vibe to it. You know, there's sort of a Sega Genesis feeling, kind of 8, 16-bit crossovers type games that are like a little bit in the uncanny valley between, is this Nintendo, is this SNES, is this Sega Genesis, is this Master System, sort of like in that realm. Alright, so that level is super easy. Now we've got medium organic enemies to worry about. Organic enemies of structures that have also appeared. And let's just wreck these structures before they have a chance to do any damage to me. These look like weird octopus things. I don't like them. Let's get out of the way here. This would be a great moment to do my swap. Oh no! Enemy crabs or something. I don't know what those are. They're pretty creepy though. And got that one. And got that one. And one more. It seems like I have all the advantages right now, considering, you know, how small the hitbox is to hit me and how much damage I can do output-wise. But no, they'll turn the tides in the favor of the enemies eventually. Organics, enemy spitters rather, have appeared. They will release weak enemies. You can't harm them at all. Okay, so let's just make a beeline then, straight for our objectives. We can harm these enemies just fine, though. Done. Swap. I actually really haven't been using the hijack shots hardly at all. I don't even know if I don't think they actually work on organic enemies. I imagine eventually we're going to get into combining organic and mechanical ones, and it's going to be quite a mess. Can we make it across? Yes, we can. I should have probably just swapped again. There's a pretty long cooldown on it, though, so I figured it probably wasn't up yet. Alright, well, that's not how we do that. Oh, geez. You guys are cornering me here. I don't know what that guy's plan was. Oh, I didn't finish that portal over there. Shadow swap E. Done. Nice job. It does save your high scores and everything as well, so... Alright, so this is the first boss. Let's destroy the bonus pods for extra points, of course. Bonus pods are located on the left and right here. And we'll have to do some dodging. I actually beat this on my first try when I did it last time. Oh, already taken damage. That was garbage town. I'm so distracted trying to think of what I'm talking about that I actually can't really watch the patterns as openly as I usually do. Requires quite a bit of concentration, as I'm sure you would imagine. Alright, so phase 2. I almost want to just crank the difficulty way up and see what this does to the patterns. I imagine they could get a lot more chaotic even than this. Yeah, they're actually super slow too, I think is the other thing. But not really any slowdown as far as the game goes, which is always kind of refreshing. I mean, I think that's kind of a hallmark of bullet hell games. A lot of the time they actually use slowdown intentionally to try and give you like a little bit of an advantage over enemies. And will you die right on time? No, you won't. Okay, there you go. I thought I was gonna die right after that last phase. Sweet. Enemy completed, enemy killed. And then we go back in for some more levels. So this is level 25. Can I go to, let's do Q to go to the main menu. And I just want to go start game, advanced. We're going to go harder. And I believe, what was it? Oh, wait, I have to beat all the levels again in hard mode. I thought it would actually let me pick from any of them. What if I just go to hard instead of harder? Kind of curious. Nope. Alright, I have to beat them every time. Well, fair enough. That actually makes some sense. But I kind of wanted to see what the bullet hell levels, like the really crazy ones, look like in that mode. I guess I'll have to leave that up to you guys to see. I'm actually really enthusiastic about Zerocross. If I haven't gotten my point across already, I have a feeling I'm actually going to be playing this maybe on stream at some point, because this is really fun. So that's going to be it for today's episode. If you want to go check it out yourself, there will be a link, of course, in the description. You can go download it, again, on either Mac or PC. Totally free. Let me know what you think about this in the comments, if you guys don't mind. I'm very curious to know if this is the sort of thing that maybe you've been looking for a while and never knew where it was. I mean, I know there's a lot of games that kind of fly under the radar with respect to this style of gameplay, but I feel like this one's a lot more cohesive and just came out of nowhere for me. It says copyright 2013 down at the bottom of the screen there, so if this has actually been around for a year already, and I wasn't even aware about almost 2 years, honestly. I'm kind of surprised, but I'm glad it came to my attention. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you'll consider leaving a like on the video if you did enjoy it, because that does help spread the word about new artistic, original, and unique indie games, and that's what I'm all about over here on youtube.com/RockLeeSmile. So if you enjoy the channel as well, consider subscribing if you haven't already. New episodes of Indie Impressions go up every single day. Look forward to bringing you another one tomorrow. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you have a fantastic night. Talk to you all tomorrow.